Hello, Cardboard Gamer Logan here. Today we're going to look at the undo line from Pegasus Spiele, not Pegasus Spiele. It is designed by Michael Palm and Lucas Zach. The art's by Leah Frolick and Lisa Lentz. It's for 2 to 6 players. Playtime is 45 to 90 minutes, 10 and up. So let's see what's in the boxes for the most part. They're all pretty much the same over the course of the line, at least the 3 I have here. And then we'll get into the gameplay and then my final thoughts. So as you can see, this is a pretty small box game, so it's not going to have a lot of components. It's all cards. You're going to have the intro and setup cards. I'll tell you how to set the game. They are generic to each game. And then you're going to have these cards that you will lay out in a line. I believe there's 13 of them that you can flip over and determine what happened at that time period. The essential premise is that you are weavers of fate that are able to go through time and manipulate the time stream so that someone will survive. Unfortunately, they never tell you why this person you need to save this person. Or even if they want to live, who knows? There are several clue cards, one for each temporal location. These are the results of your decisions. So there would be A, B, and C for each decision you can make. These are clue cards. You're able to flip over these clue cards up to 4 times per game. And these are the amount of turns you have. You use these as a timer to determine how much time you have left, which is 9 turns. So this is the essential setup. This setup, the cards from Curse from the Past, which is about a woman following to her death. And you have to work out how she died and why, and try to alter the past to modify the present. You will have, every game will have the 12th card will be the current death, which will detail what happened. You also have one afterwards, which isn't showing in my screen because it's not high enough. And then you'll have all of the past for the most part. So as you can see, this one will run from 12 minutes to 8 days to 40 years. In this particular game, you run all the way back to 1355 BC in Egypt. So what does the past have? What does the far past have to do with the present? Well, that's what you would have to learn. On a player's turn, it is a cooperative game, but on a player's turn, they ultimately get to choose where you go next. You can discuss this as a group, but it's ultimately their decision. So let's just say he wanted to go to a week ago in Berlin, Germany in 1994. So you would flip over the card, and I will angle it so you can't really read it. But it will once again repeat where you are, and it will describe what you see, and then it will have A, B, and C choices. So let's say, for example, you see John walking down the street and he picks up a piece of trash and helps an old lady across the road. Your choices might be don't pick up the trash, don't help the old lady, or something along those lines. And once you do that, you would go to the corresponding, I'll just pick one, not the actual corresponding because it doesn't really matter. You would go to the corresponding results cards, and let's say it was decision 5C you would go with, and you would pick it over, and it would tell you what it resulted in. Choices sometimes go up to +2. They sometimes go up to, sometimes go down to -1. Some are 0. They really didn't affect the past whatsoever. But your goal in this game is to get enough positives that it will result in the person not dying. And that's essentially the game. To look at these, you would have to spend one of your aforementioned clue cards. So it would be spent, it would go back in the box. And then when the next player's turn came, well, first you would discard that on the first player's turn, and the second player's turn, they would get to choose, you would discard that. And when you got down to none, you would determine your score. And again, the scores are generic to each game. Well, I'm not finding them. Hold on. So here, see, less than 0 points. You made things worse. 0 to 3, you were on the right track, but sadly unable to prevent the death. 4 to 6, you were close, but fate wasn't relentless. 7 to 8, congratulations, you actually managed to prevent the death. 9 to 10, you deciphered the story and prevented the death with ease. And 11 or more, incredible. You have not only mastered the threads of fate to prevent the person's death, but you made their life better. So that is essentially the gameplay of Undo. So these are the 3 I played. I believe they're the initial 3 releases. I think there are maybe 5 or 6 more releases after this. Blood on the Gutter is kind of a, deals with gangsters in the 20s and 30s. Cherry Blossom Festival is goes from China to America and deals with the death of a man. And this one, of course, is The Curse from the Past, which deals with a fallen lady as pictured on the cover. If you are looking for something comparable to the unlock games or the escape games, you're not going to find it here. These are very low level in complexity. Once you figure out what's going on, the decisions aren't going to be hard, because you can pretty much figure out what's going to modify the situation. Sometimes you might be wrong, but when you're wrong, it's not like, oh, I should have figured that out. It's kind of like, well, that's stupid. And you really hate it when results are 0, because you thought, well, I thought that was very important, but it wasn't. And maybe it should have been. I don't know. But if you're looking for a light filler game, this might be up your alley. It is going to be a one and done. So I would recommend, if you get these, get them on sale. I do not see me ever trying these again. There are some unlock games that a couple of years from now, when I forget the puzzles, I would be happy to go back to. But these, I think once I open them up, I would go, oh yeah, this is the one where this is what we need to change. And it wouldn't be much fun. I would also recommend these to non-gamers. At least, they don't play modern games, but they might enjoy this. But as far as active gamers that aren't into really light games, I would say this is a pass. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed.